Welcome in, welcome in, welcome one and all. I'm so glad y'all are here and you've joined me up here in my little corner of the world, and I don't have a mic on. Let me get us a mic. I think y'all will be able to hear a little bit better. Okay, let's try this. Yeah, we got mics now. Yay! It cuts out a lot of the background noises that sometimes come through if I don't have one on. Trying to do better by you all. I really am. So your viewing quality is better. New camera, new mics, all this stuff, all the way around. Yay! Y'all know what we're doing. You do. I'm so excited about this quilt, y'all. I can't quit looking for fabrics. I just look all the time. And I get so excited when I find something I think will look pretty. And then I bring it home and it doesn't match anything in this quilt at all. Then I get frustrated and I think, but I really like it. So with that said, I have devised us a simple, what I call simple or easy. I hope it's easy. Some of you will probably say that's very confusing, but I've been working, trying to figure out the easiest, most simple way to pick your 100 fabrics. Yes, you need 100 fabrics for these 100 quilt blocks. No, you don't have to have 100. You can make it in all one fabric or two fabrics or three or whatever you want to do. It's your quilt. You make it however you want it. But I kind of want mine to look similar to what hers is. So for that reason, I'm trying to pick 100 different fabrics that are similar to what she's used, color-wise, that are similar, okay? So with that being said, first you need your book. You need to go buy this book. It's in my Amazon store, and I think it was on sale, and it may be still on sale, and it may be on sale for the Prime Days coming up, I think. 1st of July. This is kind of the 1st of July. This is the 5th. This would have been my daddy's birthday. He would have been 111. Yes, my daddy would have been 111 years old today. And he's been gone for almost 26 years, and it just seems like yesterday he was here. I miss him all the time. I had good parents, very good parents, very, very good parents. I came from a very good family. So with all that being said, a happy birthday to my daddy. And I'm going to show y'all what I've come up with. It's available in the Etsy store. And there are some pages in here that you're going to need to copy out of your book, because I'm not going to include those because that's copyright infringement. Okay? All right. Are we good? We're good. All right. First off, I'm going to tell you, I started with a little bitty book about like this. Just a little flimsy notebook. And I soon discovered that it was not near big enough to hold everything I needed. Okay? I still do have some things in here. So I went to a larger, I think this is maybe 1.5 inch notebook, and it barely holds it all. I may end up putting it in a 2-inch notebook before it's all said and done. Once you get all your fabrics chosen, you may be able to take some of these pages out. You may not need them, but you may want to keep them. That's up to you. But I'm going to show you what I have come up with for this book, okay? First off, I just found this picture online somewhere. It's not a copyrighted image. It's just an image. And I just made us a cover for our book. And on the back, if you get one of these that you can slide stuff into, I made us a little spine that says Alice's Wonderland Quilt. Okay? That way, if you've got it sitting on a book, sitting on a shelf, not a book, if you've got it sitting on a shelf, you'll know this is your book, right? When you get ready to work. All right, now as we open it up, I've got my little tabs down through here. Can y'all see that good? I'll bring y'all over here a little bit closer. Turn y'all down just a little bit. All right, can y'all see I've got my little tabs down through here, and I've got a marked fabric chart. And here's where you need to print out your page out of your book, okay? This is in your book, right here. It is in your book. Right here. This is your page right here, okay? You need to print that out of your book. This is your main chart to pick your fabrics from. This is what's in your book. This is the fabrics that they used in making this quilt. All right? Just a little bit so you can see my face and the book. I'm trying to get everything in here. All right, now then. So, you see your colors, and you can go by this, okay, to pick your fabrics. And I think I've got 2 of these because this one I started writing on. And this, I kind of know what I have, okay? Here's mine that's not been written on. All right, now then, I made us a chart to go by, a real quick. If you need to look really quick to see how many more fabrics you need, you can mark off the ones that you have, okay? So I've got A2 picked, I've got A3, and so forth and so on. See that? And you can check those off. All right, and I've got an extra one or 2, just in case I screw this one up and have to redo it, and I might. And you can see some of these I have halves. See that? And that is where I ordered some fabrics from them in just like a little sampler pack kind of thing. And it came with 9 by 13 pieces. All right, and they're about this big, and I folded some of them. And some of these fabrics call for double that. You need 2 of those pieces, one for your block and one for your border. And I only got 1. So I will either come in here and substitute that whole piece, or I will find something similar to put the other place. So I may end up with more than 100 different fabrics, okay? But that's what that is. All right, next we have our fabric color list. And I did this as a quick reference. Once I got a lot of my fabrics chosen, I've got just a few left, what I call a few, probably 30, but out of 100, that's less than 50%. So I came up with a little chart. This is our color code that goes back to our main chart right here. It goes back to right here. A1. The background is red. The accent colors and what the print is, whether it's a small, medium, large, floral, geometric, whatever, that's what this tells me right here, okay? And B and C and D. And then if I'm in the fabric store and I go, oh, I think I need a red background with a white flower, I can look down through here really quickly and go, yes, I need a red background. I need white. Oh, I need pink and yellow with that. That won't work. This is a really quick reference if you're in the shop and you're looking, okay? And I've got, like I said, 3 pages, I think, of that. Print off as many as you need. If you want to start out by writing all 100 down, then do that. Then I've got my fabric list. These are the fabrics I've actually chosen and I'm planning to use, okay? I do not have A1 chosen yet. A2 came in a piece in my actual fabric that they used. So I actually have that particular piece of fabric. So I've written it down and where it came from and that it's an original piece. All right, now this one I've got 2 stars beside. And I'm going to go back in and I will mark this on all of your rolls so you know the pieces that you need bigger. You don't have to go back and look. I've already done that. And on yours, when you get it and you print it out, it will be this way, okay? This one you need more than a 16th. You need a complete fat 1/8 or 1/8 of a yard, okay? And I have that. I have a 1/8 of a yard piece cut out of this fabric. I do not know where it came from. I do not know the name of it. And I do not know where it came from. It was a fat quarter piece that I picked up at a fabric store, and I have no idea where it came from. Absolutely no clue. But that's what I'm going to use for this one. And I have enough. So I really don't need to buy any more. I even have a little more than this if I need it. Okay, A4. I've not chosen that one yet, so it's still blank. A5, I have a complete fat quarter, which I don't need all of it, but I cut it into a fat quarter. Turn y'all back up. I don't know why that does that. It's a setting. I've got to get it off. And this is a Moda My Soul Quilting Life Flower Girl pattern. And I got this at Heavenly Stitches in Colonial Heights. So I've got all that information. If I need to go back and get more of it, I shouldn't, because I bought an entire half yard. Because that's what I'm purchasing. Because, you know, we find all kinds of fun things to do with our fat quarters and our other pieces of fabric. Right? And so forth and so on. You can see down here on the next page. I have this one. I have a fat quarter. I also have 2 stars here. So I have a fat quarter. This is the name of it. This is where I got it. And this is the piece of fabric. I glued these down with a glue stick. Okay? All the way across. This is an original piece. And I only need one of this one. So I have enough. I don't need. So this piece is checked off 100%. This is what I'm using for this one. The only thing that I might change is if I have an original piece and it calls for 2 or 3 different fabrics in that particular block, and some of them do, and it doesn't go with whatever else I've chosen, then I may have to, when we start cutting and when we start sewing, I may have to come in and change this up just a little bit, okay? Here's another piece and another one. This one came from Ben Franklin. This one came from Heavenly Stitches. Here's one. I don't know where I got it. I picked up some fat quarters and things when I was in Knoxville a while back. I'm not sure where this one came from. It was just a fat quarter that I had. I did not buy a half yard. Here's another one. This was a fat quarter, or was it? No, I bought this piece. This piece I purchased a half a yard of. This one came from Tennessee Quilts in Jonesboro. Here's another one. It's the same as this one, just a different colorway, but I don't know where I got it. I may have gotten it in Knoxville. I may have picked it up in Elizabethton. There's a little quilt shop over there that I love to shop at. The lady is so friendly. It's called Fletcher's Homemade. If you all are in this area, go check her out. Very, very, very kind, sweet lady over there. Love her. Very friendly. Very helpful. And she has lots of fat quarters already cut in her shop. And I love that because I like to go in and just be able to pick up what I want. Because mostly a fat quarter is plenty for me. Here's another one. This one came from Heavenly Stitches. It's an In the Beginning. There's another one that's an original piece. So you all can see that I have a lot of mine already filled in. And this has taken some time. But if you start from the very beginning like this, and just every time you pick up a piece, you put it in here, it won't be that difficult, okay? And here these are all originals except for these 2 that I don't have yet. And I did not cut a piece off of the original fabric because I don't know where I might need to cut. And I don't want to be left with a little tiny piece, knowing that that's all that it called for. Okay, now here we've come to one that I only have a half a piece. I only have 1 piece, and I needed 2 pieces of the original fabric, okay? I've only got 1 9x13 piece here. And it's an Alice Caroline, and it's the original, but I've only got the one. So I drew a line right here, and I marked it off. And I will come in here and either choose a completely different fabric and use for both of them, or I will have two for this particular choice. And I've got 2 or 3 of them that are like that. Okay. And I will just tell you, I have put fabrics in here and then been going through and going, oh, this one matches better. This one's a little closer to the original than what the other one was. I'm taking it out and changing it. You can do that. Okay. This is one I put in here. I'm not crazy about this one for that particular choice. It's supposed to be a white or beige background, and with a lot of green on it and these flowers. This one is a green background. It's got all the right colors in it, and I think it will be fine, but I'm not sure. So I've got it in here, but this one may or may not be changed as we progress. And some of the others as well. This one right here could actually have gone for 2 or 3 different fabrics in this, okay? And I just chose the one I felt like it looked the closest to. I love this fabric. I need to find a couple more that are similar. This is one that came from Hobby Lobby. This one I have no idea where it came from. It was another fat quarter. And if you buy fat quarters and you get the one with the printed selvage, if that's the one you get, it may or may not at least give you part of what that fabric is. If you buy a fat quarter and you get the other side of the half yard cut, it's not going to tell you what the fabric is, who designed it, the manufacturer. It's not going to give you all that information that you get on the selvage of your fabric. So this piece right here, I love this. This is a little piece right here. And I made Macy a little cute little dress out of this when she was little. I think this was a smocked dress when she was little, itty bitty. It's a little girl. It's got all the right colors in it. And I'm using it because it really, this is a really old print. This print is probably, I'd say 20 years old. But I just had a little piece of it left, and I went, I've got enough to put some in this quilt. I'm doing that. So as you can see, I've just kind of gone and picked and chosen and so forth and so on. All right, now then, the thing that has helped me the most, see what I mean when I say I can't hardly get my pages to turn. Nose is itching. My eyes are itching. I'm itching, you all. I've got fabric swatches. And what I mean by fabric swatches is these are the fabrics that they call for. I went online and I Googled and I searched and I found non-copyrighted images of these fabrics that were larger images, better images than the little teeny tiny square that we got in the beginning. I tried enlarging that. I did. And it just didn't really help. This has helped tremendously. And I've got all 100 fabrics done for you all. You can see I've got this one and I've got this one. I've got these two. And at the end of each section, you've got a place to write notes. Any kind of notes you might want to make about these fabrics, or anything for that matter. And I've got them all of these photographs that are larger for all these, every one of them. Okay. Okay, now then, in the back of your book, it gives you a chart right here a layout chart of all of your blocks, row 1s through 10, okay? Right there, every one of them. Now then, that's great once you get them all done. And then you have to lay them all out and you have to look at this if you want yours in this order. And I do, because I think the way that they have intermingled the easy with the advanced and the intermediate blocks is beautiful. Okay, I think their layout is beautiful, and why would I want to change something that I already like, right? I don't know. So I went through and I found the numbers for each one, and I made us a chart. So the first block on the first row is block number 76, and then number 39, and then number 6, so forth and so on, all the way down through there. All right. Now then, this we will need in the end. I also made 2 copies of this, and the reason I did that is, as I'm making my blocks, I shall check them off. So when we do block number 1, I'm going to come in here and put a check mark here by this block right here. And when we do block number 2, and I'm not sure where it is, I just happen to see number 1 right there. Here's number 2. It's row 2. Number 2. There's number 2. We'll mark that one off. And so on and so forth until we get all 100 of them finished. And this is just a quick way to keep up with what you've already done, in case you want to jump around and say you already know how to do English paper piecing and you've been sewing upstairs on the machine all day and you want to go downstairs and do a little bit of handwork. And you want to take those down there and do those before we come to them. You can go ahead and get them marked off. All right. Now then, the book has some amendments to it. That means some changes in the book itself. Some mistakes were made in writing the book and before it was printed. And after it was printed, they found those mistakes. And that happens, quite frankly, quite often. Especially with patterns, because you think you've done it, you think you've got it all perfect, and you write it out and you leave out a word, or you add a word, or you say cut 2 when you really only need to cut 1, or you say cut 1 when you really need to cut 2, but the fabric needs to be folded, that kind of thing. There's some of those things can slip through, especially if you're writing a book the size of this one. It's a big book. It's a long book, and it's going to take us a while to do it. So there were a few mistakes that they found after the printing, so they gave us a free amendment. This is on the Alice Caroline website. You can go on there. It's free. You just have to add it to your shopping cart and print it out. It's free. You need to do that. And then I went through my book and I wrote in my book the changes, as well as I've got this back here to go by. All right, and it just shows you the page. And here it'll be in red and show you what needs to be changed. Okay? So do that. Now then, also on that website, yes, you get the patterns. And when I say patterns, I mean all of the paper pieces, all of the applique patterns, all of that. There's a section of that as well. Same thing. Free to download it. Download that so that you do not have to copy out of your book, because when you copy out of your book, you may or may not get a little skewed by the spine of the book. And when you're copying things, if they're not laid completely flat, they may or may not copy the exact size that they need to be. Okay, so go on there, and I actually printed off 2 copies, so I put 1 in this little sleeve. Now then, the final thing, and this is over 100 pages, and this is what takes up most of the room in my book, okay, is the cutting layout. This is also a freebie. You just have to go in there and download it. And this is it. So I'm giving you all some homework to download some pages plus by what I've created for us. But this shows us here on A1, these are the pieces that we need to cut out of this particular fabric. And like I said, it's got one of these for every fabric, every page. Okay? This one just happens to be A6 right here. And it shows you the best way to cut it. Okay? And here's one you just need a big square, B3. You just need a 6.5 by 6.5 inch square of that one. Let's see if that's all. I'd say it is. Which I don't know why you would need just a big open square, but you do. I guess we'll find out when we start to make it. Yep. So this one you just need a 6.5 inch square of. So you're going to have some scraps left from most of your fabrics, or at least most of them that I've kind of glanced through to see. And then here are your paper piecing templates. Tells you how to cut this. See right here? Shows you how to cut all this. Some of these pieces are teeny tiny pieces, but we shall persevere and get them all done. And then you put this all in this nice little handy dandy notebook, and voila, you're ready to go shopping. You're ready to start your quilt. You've got everything you need. Almost. Not quite. Almost. Not quite. Not quite. Not quite. Not quite. Here we have a tote. This is just a tote. Just a clear tote. Okay. This houses all of my fabrics, or the ones I have so far. And this is how I'm doing this. You can do this lots of different ways, but this is the way that I'm choosing to do it. First off, I started by making me some envelopes. 1 through 100. Right here. 1 through 100. This is what we'll put our blocks in. Possibly the pieces before they're created, and then after they're made, we'll put our block back in our envelope to keep it out of sunlight, out of dust and dirt and so forth and so on. We'll put it back in our envelope. So here are these envelopes. Then I cut out. Then I got 100 more envelopes. So you need 200 envelopes for this. 200 envelopes. And I've got my fabrics in them. And then I took me some little tabs. I'm going to bring y'all down here so you can really see good and close. I took me some of these little Post-it tabs right here. And I put A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I, and J. First 10 letters of the alphabet on them. And on the first envelope for each letter, I stuck that little tab. Okay? And then I've got A1, A2, and in that, I have this piece of fabric. So that's my A2 piece of fabric right in there. And here's A3, tucked right down in there. And they're all there when we get ready to cut, when we get ready to put our pieces together. They're all there, tucked in there, nice and neat, as well as all of our envelopes. All right, now then, are y'all ready to go download my organizational tool? And y'all, I appreciate y'all buying this stuff from me. I really do. It helps so much with everything that we do for Mr. Andy and for us, because, you know, we're both here all the time with him because that's what it takes. That's what it takes. And through the years, I have stayed home with him, and I've done various and sundry things to try to bring in a little bit of money. And it's what I call my spending money. It's my happy money. At times it went to buy groceries, and it still does. And at times it went to pay power bills and phone bills and things like that. And sometimes it still does. But this is our source of income for right now is YouTube. And trust me, it's not much. It's very, very small. So if you watch the ads and if you watch them all the way to the end, it does help. It helps tremendously. And support me in my Etsy shop and buying my samples, because I can't wear the stuff, all the things that I make. I can't carry all the bags that I make. I can't use everything that I create and make, but I love to make it, and I love to make it with you all. And so purchasing those items from me helps to support the channel by helping me to be able to go buy more supplies and things to do more things. Okay? It's just like us. I have to sell it, and then I buy it, and then I sell it, and I buy it. It's just like that. So it does help, and it, helps support us along the way, and Mr. Andy. So go download your pattern, go to Etsy and get your organizational tools so you can organize your quilt blocks and your quilt while we get started. And you can take this to the fabric store, or just take some of your sheets to the fabric store. Put them in a smaller book if you want to. I'm to the place now where I think I'm just going to look through some of the things I've got and say, I think I'm going to use that instead. And maybe it's the same colors, and maybe it's not. I don't know. I've not made up my mind yet. We'll do some more along. Hopefully I'll keep you all updated on my progress, on how I'm coming with this, and how much I'm doing to get mine organized, and when we're ready. And I haven't decided whether we're going to start and cut out all of our blocks at one time, like we did like I said up here for 2 or 3 days, and cut just the Tula Pink 100 blocks. But I'm so glad I did, because now I can just go over there, bring y'all along with me, turn you on, and we can start to sew. So that was good. So, that's another possibility we may do, or we may cut them one at a time as we get started. I don't know. I have not made up my mind on that one yet. I'm still thinking. We still have about 5 months before we're going to get started on this. This is our winter project this year, and hopefully we'll get it done. And I've asked for a long arm quilter for Christmas. I don't know if I'll get it. I don't think I will, because they're so expensive. But I asked. I did. So the mister had plenty of time to think about it and save up, so that maybe if I'm a really good girl, Santa will think I'm the best girl in the world and bring me one. You think he will? I don't know. Y'all support me. I'd hate to have to do a GoFundMe to get me a long arm quilter so I can quilt all of my quilts that I'm making with you all. I would. But buy my patterns. That supports me, supports the habit of buying fabric and playing with fabric and all that good stuff. And I'll come up with more patterns. I will, I promise. I've got lots of bag patterns to come up with. My head, it's like I can't stay focused on one thing. It's like I get it started, and then it's like, oh no, I've got to do this, and oh, they'd like to see this, and oh, I need to make that. And I'm looking at some fabric right here that I bought to make a tote bag, and I'm like, oh yes, and I wanted to show them how to make that. And oh yes, this is good, and we need to do that. And I want to do Mr. Hippity Hop quilt. And yes, I want to do all of that. And I'm also going, oh, that would be good for Hippity Hop. And oh, that would be good for Hippity Hop. And oh, but I'm looking at fabrics for this. I get distracted very easily. And I try not to. But I do. All the time. Get distracted. So, with all that being said, I'm going to leave you all with it to go organize Alice's Wonderland quilt and download the patterns. And there are several different files, so you didn't have to like print 100 or 200 pages all at one time. and I've got the cover page. I've got it separated out so you can print just what you need at the time. Okay, so I will see you all in the next one. Thanks for your support and thanks for watching.